What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Shadow over the Erdtree walkthrough. So today we are going to start off right here at the Darklight Catacombs exit, which is over here at the Forsaken Graveyard. We did this last episode where we beat the boss and we get this new grace over here in this new area, which actually happens to be the final unexplored area of the map, the Abyssal Woods. So this area is a little bit unique, and you'll see why. Right when you get to this point, you get knocked off Torrent, and you try to summon him. The spectral steed is frightened and cannot be summoned. So what this is this entire area is basically infested with madness, and Torrent is scared, so you can't use him. So we're going to go ahead and mark the map fragment. That's going to be our first order of business down here. We want to make sure we get that map unlocked, because it's going to help us enormously with navigation. One thing I want to point out is there is an enemy that we're going to have to parry. So for that, I would recommend having the Carrion Retaliation Ash of War equipped on whatever shield you're using, because Carrion Retaliation gives you the most number of parry frames of any Ash of War parry in the game. So even better than Buckler parries. So I would highly recommend having that. For starters, as I said, we're going straight to the map fragment, and really the way to get there is just to follow this main path. So right ahead of us, we have our first site of grace. If you don't have Carrion Retaliation equipped, I'd recommend putting it on at this site of grace. It says, don't let it see you. Once you're seen, there's no escape. You cannot even be touched. So yes, they're trying to spook us out here, but fortunately for us, we have all of the tools necessary to get the job done. So just a bit ahead of us, now we're going to have an enemy called a Matting Hand. This is only one down here. Only one of these down here. He lurks these parts. And just about everything does madness to us. Madness damage to us. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to take this talisman off. And I'm going to put on the talisman that gives us a bit of a boost to our madness resistance. I believe this one, the Clarifying Horn Charm +2. Focus governs resistance to sleep and madness. So yes, this greatly enhances our madness resistance. So throw this talisman on, it'll help you. Because pretty much everything down here does madness damage to you if you're not careful. And if you get the madness triggered, if the bar fills all the way up, then it's going to do a large percentage of your HP damage right away. So that attack that he just did, where he kind of put his fist forward, that does an enormous amount of madness damage. So make sure you dodge that attack. If it hits you, you're probably going to get madness, so just beware. So for killing him, we get the Matting Hand, very similar to the Poison Hand that we got earlier in the game. It's a fist weapon, fist-based weapon that you can use to build up madness damage on people. So only certain enemies are susceptible to madness. I believe it's pretty much any other human type enemy that you can madness, and that includes PvP as well. A lot of monster type enemies are not susceptible to madness, so it is very kind of limited in its use. Down here we got a bunch of rats, and these rats are pretty beefy. They do a lot of damage. If they gang up on you, you can see how much damage they do, plus they cause the madness buildup. So make sure you kind of handle these appropriately, because if not, they'll get you. All right, so straight ahead we got our map fragment. We're going to get some stuff kind of in this area. There's a few pickups we're going to grab. And most of the stuff here, save for a couple cookbooks that we're going to get, very low level loot. So if you don't want to bother with all this stuff, there's a couple cookbooks, as I said. Inside this church, there's a couple Erdtree fragments, and there's a Erdtree fragment up here that we're going to get as well. Aside from those things, pretty low level loot. If you want to go straight to the dungeon down here, it's right there. So yes, the Erdtree fragments are the main priority. Cookbooks, they're not that great, but we're going to get them. So if you hop up here on this ledge, we're going to do this before we go to the church. Over here, there's going to be some clarifying boluses that'll help. If you're taking madness buildup, it'll remove the buildup. Then up here, this is just for crafting. But this is a new crafting material down in this area. So I'm going to show it. Winter Lantern Flies. They're pretty hard to come by, pretty tough to spot, but they're up here. And they're used for crafting some of the madness stuff. Now down here, there's some other crafting materials. The eyes of Yelo, however you say it. They're in the base game as well, but they are also in this area. So we got some horn-scent enemies as well that we'll take out. So these guys, actually probably not as bad as the rats. They go down easier. And they do have a madness attack. They shoot the madness eye beam attack. So watch out for that. So here we have the eyes of Yelo. Again, they were in the base game. And right here, we got another of the winter lantern flies there on that tree branch. So now we're going to head to the church. There is some good stuff in this church, including 2 Erdtree fragments. There's some more eyes of Yelo over there. So head in here. We have a side of grace. Look back here. Got our Erdtree fragment. Back here, we got the Frenzy Flame perfume bottle. And our side of grace. Okay, so the next spot we're going to go to is right up here. You see that shiny? We're going to grab it. So just head west. And there's going to be a tree branch that we can hop up onto. To our left. Right here. All the way up. Hop over. Shadow Realm Rune 7. And so now there's some other stuff we can get. There's a smithing stone like down here. There's some boluses right around here. And then there's a glovewort right there approximately. So yeah, as you can tell, without torrent, this is a fairly large area of the map. Navigation is a little bit tedious. It is what it is. That's why I said earlier, if you want, you can kind of just get the main things, the Erdtree fragments, maybe the cookbooks, and just go straight to the dungeon. But since this is a walkthrough, I feel inclined to show all the stuff. Despite the fact that it takes a while to get through it all on foot. And also, without torrent, you can't double jump. So navigating some of these platforming sections is a little bit more tedious than it would be otherwise. So yeah, not my favorite area of the game, but it's all right. All right, so here's a smithing stone. Guess my beacon already went away. The boluses are going to be on our left as well. There's kind of a little cliff you got to run up. And they're at the top. I'm going to run past all these rats here. More trouble than they're worth at this point. Yeah, there's our beacon for the clarifying boluses. To get there, you got to go all the way down here and then loop back around. Actually, the glovewort's straight ahead, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the glovewort first and then turn around. Get the glovewort. And we're going to go up here and get the boluses. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to warp back to the Woodland Trail Grace. Okay, so from here, we're going to go over here. This is going to take us to the next site of Grace. And then down here is going to be a spot for some runes. And it's going to lead us to the next thing that we're going to do. So you mentioned those the hints right when you walked in. There were kind of the developer notes that were left on the ground. They said there's something, you can't hurt them, turn around, whatever, blah blah blah. So there's an enemy in here that is very reminiscent of an enemy that's in Bloodborne, the Winter Lanterns. If you remember those, if you played Bloodborne, they're the enemies that if they see you, they immediately cause the Frenzy buildup, which Frenzy is the Bloodborne equivalent to Madness. And so there's an enemy that is almost an identical design in this game. The catch is that you can't hurt them normally. If you go up there and you swing your weapon, they're going to kill you pretty much instantly. They have a more or less instant kill grab attack. And so the only way that you can do damage to them actually is if you parry them first. So if you parry their grab attack is parryable, then that leaves them vulnerable to just regular damage. Okay, so now we're going to head kind of south. So I'm going to put a beacon down here at this crossroads, and then we're going to go over here to this beacon. So just putting that one down for navigation purposes. And so, yes, I'm going to show you how to parry them, because there's one of these enemies, there's one specifically where if you kill it, it gives you a talisman. And the only way to get that talisman is by killing one of these things. And again, the only way to kill it is to parry it. And I say that there is another way you can actually deal damage to them, although I think it's a bit unofficial. It may get patched later. And that is if you have a weapon that does the destined death effect. So that would be like Malekith's blade. And there's a dagger, I believe, that you get in one of the dungeons in the base game that's guarded by a black knife assassin, I believe, that does the destined death effect. And if you use one of those weapons with that destined death effect, it does very small damage. But I don't think it's intended, because even if you do that, the enemy's health bar doesn't even show up. And you have to do it like 30 or 40 times for it to actually kill the enemy. So I don't think it's intended, but it is possible. It may get patched later. The official way is to parry it. So that's the way that I'm going to show. There he's doing his eye beam. There we go. Just dodging away from those. And this is what we came here for. So, speaking of which, the enemy that I'm referring to, we're going to face one right here. And this is the one that gives us the talisman. If you kill any of the other ones, they give you a crafting item. It's like a grape that's used for crafting. So I'm going to drop down right here. You see these notes. They're kind of trying to scare you here. Hide yourself, make not a sound. Quietly await your chance. Combat is not an option. So this is intended to be a stealth section, because you can hide in this brush and sneak past them, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do. But to get the talisman, you have to kill this. So what you want to do is alert it to your presence. It's going to teleport you behind you and knock you over. Stay down. Do not roll and get up. Just get up naturally, because that grab is going to miss you. If that grab hits you, you're dead instantly. So the way to parry this is when his wand goes like halfway up, hit your parry button, and then you'll get him. So again, the wand that's in his right hand to our left kind of glows. And when it gets to about halfway to maybe 3/4 up, that's when you want to parry. And we get the Aged One's Exaltation Talisman. Madness in the vicinity increases attack power. So if Madness goes off, you get a boost to your attack power. Okay, so that's all we wanted to do there. We wanted to get that talisman. So we're going to warp back to the Abyssal Woods. We're going to head pretty much directly north. And there's going to be a Erdtree fragment and a smithing stone. So there's another one of those enemies right there. We're not going to kill it yet. I'm going to kill it just to show you what you would normally get if you killed one that doesn't, one of the ones that does give you a talisman. And then the rest of the ones down here, we're going to try to stealth past to get. I'm not going to worry about killing them, because it is a bit risky. And again, the intended way to get past them really is to sneak by them. So that's what we're going to do for the majority of them. There's only a few more of them down here, though. And fortunately, when you do kill one, they do not respawn. All right, so if you see these horn scent guys, this is kind of the indicator that we are in the right spot. Whoops. Nope, missed. Okay, so 2 items right here. Smithing Stone 7. And over here is our Scadutree Fragment, which should allow us to level up our Scadutree Blessing one more level, because we got 2 at the church. This is our 3rd one. So we're going to warp back to our site of grace here. And we'll go on and level up. So as I said, probably should sneak past this one. I'm going to kill it just to show you what you get. And as I am thinking about this, one thing I'm going to throw on here is the Lamenter's Lantern that we got earlier in the Lamenter's Jail. Because this torch's effect actually makes it harder for these things to spot you. Alternatively, you can also equip the Assassin's Gambit Ash of War. That works as well. It works very well, actually, if you have that equipped on one of your weapons. This one, you should sneak past, but I'm going to show you kind of what you get for killing one of the non-talisman ones. Hopefully I pull this off correctly. So again, stay down. Let that grab miss you. About halfway up to your parry. There you go. There are some other ones further down the road that I am going to sneak past, or at least attempt to sneak past. You see, there's a lot of this underbrush here that you can sneak through. And if you hit one of these things, it makes a noise. And if the thing's still alive, it's going to know exactly where you are. So just be careful of that. So I'm going to go ahead and mark some stuff off on the map. We got some smithing stone, like a smithing stone thing over here. There's a grace over here, and then a cookbook kind of this way. So unfortunately, to get to the smithing stones, it is kind of in the vicinity of 2 of the madness monsters. You can see it down there. So I'm actually going to throw on this torch, and I'm going to use the effect and try to sneak past these ones, because I really don't care to fight more of them than I have to. It is a risky proposition to fight them. So if I didn't have this thing on, he probably would have seen me by now. But I am going to wait. I'm not going to be totally careless. I am going to wait for him to go around. Hopefully it doesn't wear off while I'm going. It just did. I got lucky. Yeah. Didn't. It kind of noticed me then when the effect went off, it stayed still. There we go. Now we can go to this next. Watch out for the shiny flowers. I'm not going to chance it and try to walk right in front of it. It's a little bit too bold. Let's see where is he going to go. Throw it on one more time. The other one's back there, so I think we should be good. If I didn't have this on, he probably would have spotted me when I just did that. Now I gotta wait to see where he's... going. He's kind of being difficult. Crouch, go over to this next. I think we're home free. Just don't hit that shiny. Otherwise he'll come straight for you. Okay, we're good. Alright, so to get to that marker, you kind of got to loop around this way. And go up this path. So we're going to overlook where those 2 enemies were. Here's our loot right here. They're up there. Still be careful because I think they can still teleport up. I could be wrong on that, but just don't don't chance it. So now we're going to head to our next spot. And if we had Torrent, this would probably take less than half the time. So it is just a matter of getting through all this. And up those cliffs is where our cookbook is. More madness rats. Fun, fun. Alright, so it was a little bit off on the cookbook beacon, but that's fine. As soon as I get access to my map again, I need to mark the next section and take this beacon off. Oh, come on. Here we go. Alright, so the next cookbook is like here-ish, and then there's some more boluses like right around there. So this path is a bit difficult to get this second cookbook, because you have to go like all the way around here, then go across this to get to it. So the path to get there is you want to head sort of southeast-ish. And then we're going to see some more of the horn scent enemies. Yeah, straight ahead. Oop, got nailed by that thing. So past these, drop down. And then from there, we're going to head more towards the west. You see we're going back this way so we can get up, loop around, go that way. There we go. This is our path up. Guess I might as well fight these. I was debating on if I should fight them or just run past them. All right, so right up here should be our cookbook. Nope, there's a pickup here. Winter Lantern Fly. All right, here we go. Cookbook. I think over here are the boluses. Is there a way to drop down? I think there is. Go. See, that is death. We can drop over here in this corner. Might take some damage. But I'm pretty sure this is a makeable fall. If not, we're gonna have a journey. Yep. Barely makeable. So you decide if clarifying boluses are worth the trouble or not. Am I in the right spot? I should be. Oh, geez. There are things down here. Yeah, probably should not have done this. This was a bad idea. And the boluses... there should be... how do I take that off? It should be... body. I'm going to go ahead and throw the... but it's foggy over here, so it's hard to see. I should have just let this one go. This is not worth it. Around one of these trees is a corpse with the loot. Whoops. Not what I wanted. Oh, crap. Dang it. Yeah. Alright, I hope I get my parry right. There we go. This tree. And that fog is annoying. I can't see anything. There it is. Clarifying boluses. And just for reference, right here on the map, in case you really want those. All right, so where we're headed next is the mansion. I'm trying to decide, is it quicker? Yeah, we're just gonna walk. I think it's probably quicker to walk than it is to warp and then run all the way down. So going to hug this until it lets me go in the direction of my beacon. Because eventually I'm going to be able to loop around this thing and go southwards toward the beacon. Fortunately, the dungeon is far more enjoyable in this area. Boss is very good too. It's probably one of my favorite bosses in the whole game. All right, here we go. Now we're able to turn southward. This is where we went to go get the cookbook. But instead of going up, we're just going to follow this path. And right here, there's a drop down. So just for reference on the map, this is the spot with the drop down. This is going to take us to the dungeon. Bunch of these Hornsent guys over here. I really don't want to fight them all, so I'm just going to run. There's really not much over here. And thank God we're done with this part. I've been kind of dreading this for a while, but it's over. And with minimal loss either. I don't know. I don't think I died to a single one of those Winter Lantern enemies. So I will take that as a victory for sure. I was kind of worried about that. That I'd make a fool of myself, but it's all good. Okay, so once we're inside, take an immediate right for some swollen grapes. You got ourselves a site of grace. Leave now, come no closer.
No closer, I say.
Sadly, I cannot do that. So you talk to this ghost. I welcome you, O uninvited guest, but I must warn as you venture in, heed the words of our great master Midra. Approach not the madness lest ye succumb. So right here is an illusory wall. And as we go down, a giant horned warrior is going to spawn. So I'm going to get my Ansbach bow ready, and I'm going to spam him with the arrow ability here. So right when he spawns, arrows. Hopefully I get him before he gets to me. Oh, he's got a tiny bit of HP left, of course. So I'm just going to take him out with a... I'm going to roll back, mind my distance, get my sword out, and just hit him once. Take him out. There we go. Ansbach's bow got the majority of the job done, but couldn't quite seal the deal. All right, so to the left, we got some loot in here, a couple enemies. So in this body, we got the torn diary page. Not really useful for anything, but we'll read it. We went through the trouble to pick it up, so we'll read it. Discarded page ripped from a diary bearing passage written in a tremulous hand. I touched him, but only once. When he thrust his staff in my face, I brushed it aside. It was then that I touched him, the aging untouchable. So the aging untouchables, I think those are what those you know, madness enemies are in the woods that grab you and kill you, and you have to parry them, etc. I think that's what they're called. Aged untouchables or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. But up on this bookshelf, we got more swollen grapes. All right, in the next room, we got a bunch of guys in here. There's gonna be one up top throwing like madness pots at us. He's very spammy with them. So just go to the back. And he won't be able to reach you. I'm gonna see if we can snipe him, because we're gonna get up there later, but it's gonna be easier to handle that spot if we don't also have to deal with the madness at the same time. All right, there's an item over here by the fireplace. Can I get a good sight line on this guy? Here we go. Hopefully this will work. There we go. Perfect. So we're not going to deal with him later, fortunately. So in here, there's going to be another horned warrior. This one has the dual blades, not the great sword. We're going to take him out much the same way as we did the other one. Lure him out here. Oh, snap. Okay, that went through the wall. That was awesome. There we go. Got him. How many arrows I got in my stock? 33. Yeah, doing that special ability takes 8 arrows apiece, but it's worth it in my opinion. And my Wi-Fi connection's lost. That's awesome. All right. So we're gonna go all the way to the back here. There's gonna be a lever for us to pull. Watch out for the guy trying to ambush you. What this does is it backs up this bookshelf, so now we can run past it. Go up a ladder. There's a bunch of enemies back here. There's including one behind you that gets up. There's gonna be some that like bust out of these barrels. We're gonna grab this item. Shadow Rune 6. I beg you, stop. Haven't I taken enough? Are we not brethren, common in our line, and yet you offer only cruelty? I ask, what crime did great Midra commit? So if we hadn't have sniped that guy before, so there's the fireplace. If we hadn't have sniped him before, he'd be up there right now shooting his madness at us. Driving us crazy. Because that madness thing, once he throws it down, it shoots like 5 or 6 times before it stops. It's kind of obnoxious. Over here, we got a surging frenzied flame. I'm pretty sure that's what he was using. So now we're going to go up. And in this spot, there is stuff off to the right, but we're going to go get this grace first for safety, because in that room, there are a ton of madness rats. And if you make a mistake, you'll get killed and spawn all the way back. Over there, that's actually the boss. Let me take this beacon off. We'll get there later. I don't know what's wrong with my Wi-Fi. Hopefully it works itself out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to upload this episode. But it's all good. All right, so we got the grace. Now we're going to go back and take care of the rats. A few of these I'm just going to snipe. Probably 3 or 4 of them. And the rats do have a chance of dropping these swollen grapes, so you can technically farm this room for the grapes if you want more of them. Come on over here, buddy. He died. All right, so now I'm gonna hop in. Should be okay now. Over there we got a big rat. Oh, there's a swollen grape. We get the Mad Craftsman's Cookbook 3. So over here, hop over. Careful. Just kind of a semi-precise jump. And this is going to take us back to the grace that we already unlocked. So if we died, we'd spawn here anyway. I'm going to rest just to get my health back. All right, so now we're in the library. Get rid of this guy first. We're going to stay up top. There is a ladder there. We're going to stay up top and hop across on top of these bookshelves. Make a straight line down this plank. And now we're going to jump this way. Pick up this item. Then there's another item down there that we want. We're going to drop. Get this item. And there's an item all the way in the back here. There's going to be a guy trying to snipe us up there. More swollen grapes. Just kind of be quick about it so he won't bother you. All these guys down here, though, we're going to take care of them. And right here, we got a shortcut. This is back to the first room where we started. And right here, we have another illusory wall. We go up the stairs, up the ladder. And we have a lever to pull. It's going to make this bookshelf go back, and it's going to open up a new pathway for us. Now, we're going to stay up top, but you could drop down. If you go behind that bookshelf, you see there's a little opening there. That's going to take us to the same spot that we're going to go to otherwise, but if you go down the bottom route, you are going to miss an item. Stay up top. We're going to hop over, stay on the move. We got some enemies up there that might try to be a nuisance. Hop over. Got Nanaya's torch. It's a torch that has a madness ability. I'm actually going to snipe this guy. Because we got to kill the big dude down there. Because he drops a revered spirit ash. So I'm going to plunge attack him. He's got a bunch of HP though. It's a bit more bark than bite. He's not that hard to kill. There we go. Got the revered spirit ash. And so had we gone through that pathway, it just spits us out right there, but we would have missed the torch up there. Here we got a few enemies. Some of them are hiding right next to the walls. There's another one next to this one. All right. And here we got another site of grace. And we have a shortcut ladder. This takes us back to the beginning. What we want to do now is hop over onto the chandelier for another revered spirit ash. And then we're going to drop down. And this takes us back to the shortcut, back to the beginning. Since we kicked down the ladder, we can go straight back up to the grace. Or alternatively, you could just warp to the grace. Both will work just fine. So we got a couple of revered spirit ashes. We're going to level up our spirit blessing and level up our character as well. And then we're going to go straight to the boss, which is right around the corner. Oh, why not? We'll go up to 60 strength. And get a nice round number. Get us to level 200. Very nice. And so in here is the boss. This is Midra. So he's very unassuming at first. You do have to fight him here, but his attacks don't hurt very bad. And you can't summon Mimic yet. Avoid his grab attack, though. His grab attack can be kind of annoying. Just hit him a bunch of times. He has a madness AoE. Once you kill this form, there's going to be a cutscene. And then once the real fight starts, you can summon. I should have buffed up, though, before I took that out. Oh, well. I should have went ahead and popped my flask. It's all good.
Enough. I have endured more than enough. I ask you forgive me, dearest Nanaya.
So yeah, he basically beheads himself. And in place of that, have the Frenzy Flame. One of the coolest soundtracks in the whole game as well. Very nice all around. If just a little bit grotesque. Alright, summon. Try not to get madnessed. Alright, wait till he gets on Mimic. Then I'm gonna pop my flask. There we go. Buff us up. And it's go time. So as you can expect, he's got a lot of madness-based attacks. He has a phase transform at right about half health. Probably should put the boluses on, because I'm taking quite a bit of madness build up here. Actually, use one. Here's his phase transform. Big AoE, madness-based AoE, does a dive bomb there. And his madness attacks are taken to the nth degree in his second phase. Oh, we got a stagger, but Mimic took it away from me. Oh well, that's fine. The Mimic giveth, the Mimic taketh away. So yeah, a bunch of madness-based AoEs. Yeah, I should have the boluses equipped on my hotbar, but oh well. But that when he stabs the ground, and there's an effect on the ground that pops up. And that's a big exploding eyeball that I should have watched out for. Mimic is taking a beat down. Keep that health topped off. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more difficult bosses. This boss took me a long time on my first playthrough. But here we go, we're done. That is Midra. Get the remembrance. Get our runes. A side of grace. We'll level up one more time. Put this one into mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today. So we made it through the entire Abyssal Woods in one fell swoop. Got pretty much everything I know that there is to get in here. Killed some of the big bad madness enemies in here that you're supposed to sneak away from. So it all feels good. I'm pretty satisfied with how all this went, given that it could have been disastrous. But anyways, that's going to do for now. Really appreciate y'all for watching. Stay tuned for more. Next time, I think we're going to go kill ourselves a dragon. Looking forward to that fight as well. Going to be super awesome. Can't wait. Until then, guys, take care.